Thank you all for joining us today. We have a wonderful SPFL grad with us, Dar. She just completed the course a little while ago, and she's going to share her experience with us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to your SPFL journey and what made this course appealing to you?
Sure. So like you said, my name is Dar. I just in the last year kind of transitioned from what was a pretty demanding full-time role as a director of a university counseling center, and really was looking to figure out what my next step was and what was going to be the path I was going to take that would be different from what I've been doing for most of the 35 years of my career. Um, and so I was kind of struggling a little last spring to figure out, what the next chapter in my life would look like. And I learned about this awesome opportunity through my son, and was really happy to be able to start this journey with Krista and Phil, that helped me look at, to go through looking at both who I am and my values, what my mission has been throughout my life, um, and developing new intentions and really a new mission for this next chapter that for me in many ways is so important because I am at an older stage in my life, and it's even more important to me than ever that this period of time is meaningful, and engaged, and reflective of who I want to be the rest of my life.
One, I love that your son recommended this to you. That is amazing. And also that, you're showing that there is always time for improvement and growth. There's not some age limit like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And this is for everybody. And there's always room for that improvement and the growing. What made the strategic planning for life experience relevant, important to you in your life right now?
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, in the beginning, I got the book ahead of time because my son sent me the book, and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of heavy, and can I do this? But as soon as I engaged with Phil and Krista, it just really became this journey with them. And what made it relevant for me is just, um, it gave me structure and framework for where I want to go with my life from this point on. But it also, I think what was um, really, really moving and helpful to me was it gave me room to be forgiving of myself and to kind of let go of some of the pressure that I have put on myself to be so high achieving, that really it wasn't meaningful or energizing for me anymore. And that was just a huge gift.
So did it unlock these? I'm sure you had these values and these goals and these things that you knew that you deep down valued, but it brought to life that maybe you weren't living in alignment to actually enjoy those values and get to use those.
That's absolutely right. That's right. I mean, in my field, do I have the knowledge base of what we were, started out with? Absolutely. But it unlocked it. It was kind of like getting a new pair of glasses.
I love
And so it made things more vivid and more lively, and really more meaningful, and being able to take a look at not just intentions or what is your mission, but also, something that was really important to me that's been very helpful was identifying non-negotiables, and identifying those things that, before maybe I looked at as, well, if you have time to do that. Instead, now those are really critical to who I am and to lifting me up each day to do the work that I want to do.
So yeah, the non-negotiables, I feel like that is a part where people maybe don't understand that yet. Like, there's something you enjoy, but not realizing how important those are. When I took the class, I really realized that those are so important. They can make and break your week, even a small, like a 5-minute non-negotiable. I was just telling Krista the other day, I had a very off week, and there was these non-negotiables. I went back to, I pulled the book out. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling off. What are those? And just these little 5-minute ones that I had taken out of my morning routine were really throwing my whole week off. And I'm like, no, I got to get those back. So I love that you have found those little pieces, and they really do make such a huge impact.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I think also, a conversation that I had with Phil, something I love to do is photograph. So I like to take pictures of nature and of children. And something that I enjoyed that I kind of was seeing as, oh, you shouldn't spend time on this right now, is editing those pictures in the evening. And Phil and I were able to talk about why that is important to me, and why that can be, for me, I see it as it gives me joy. So give yourself permission to do that instead of, get off your phone. And so even if it's 5 minutes, I'm going to edit pictures for 5 minutes. That's part of my non-negotiables.
And I know it sounds cliche sometimes with that fill your cup expression. And it
Yes,
is just giving yourself that 5 or 10 minutes with those non negotiables to fill your cup up lets you be better in the other aspects that you're doing in life. So it sounds like, oh, that 5 minutes really isn't going to make a difference, but it really does.
it does.
Is
Yeah.
there a certain part of the course and the modules besides non-negotiables that really made a big impact, kind of really had a lot of unlocks for you?
Yeah. And I can't exactly say when this was in the course, but Phil and Krista helped me come to the point to realize that this course isn't just about like, how can you be most high achieving, and how can you be most successful and make the most money. That's not what this is about. This is about being strategic in how you plan your life. And that includes finding balance and making choices for yourself that are healthy and helpful. That was the piece I think that was a surprise, because I came into it with the misconception that this was all going to be about, me starting my new business and opening up my private practice. And while that information was really helpful, the other pieces of what Phil and Krista and this course or this program bring, I would say was even more helpful. And it was affirming, and it changed the way I look at my life.
I hear a lot of people say that, and I know this was true for me also. The unlock it gave me, and it sounds like maybe the same for you, that what success looks like. Because for so long it was like, oh, getting that promotion and making this amount of money and
Mhm.
doing these things and checking off the boxes to climb the ladder. And then when I took this also, I was like, oh no, success to me was spending more time with my family and helping the community and all these things, where usually those are kind of on the back burner. And it let me realize, like, no, those should also be up front, and you can be successful in these things, and it doesn't always have to be what are you doing for like work and life. It's all together.
Right.
Did you see changes happening rather quickly? Was it kind of a slower process? I know I always like to say the course is kind of like peeling the onion. Each
It
little
is.
piece
It is.
unlocks a little bit more and more. So how did that look like? What did that look like for you?
For me, I would say the first few sessions, it wasn't real rapid,
Mhm.
partly because I already have experience with looking at my personality and my values, and But what made that part so helpful and kind of escalate things or accelerate things was the weekly meetings with either Phil or Krista, that just, it's an accountability piece, but it's so much more than an accountability piece. It's having that dialogue and sharing and being able to be vulnerable and having them hold space with you in a way that is non-judgmental, encouraging, and then really gleaning from their knowledge and their experience of leading this program with other people before they came to you.
That kind of leads me to my next question. I'm sure you've taken other programs.
Mhm.
What made this course different for you?
Well, I think the personalized piece of having that weekly meeting with Bill and Krista. And I mean, it's such a well thought out, well prepared um, program, from the information in the books to being able to watch it, online, to Phil and Krista being accessible outside of those, weekly time slots. It was much more personalized, and just at such a higher level of kind of adapting and uh, fitting for each individual participant. And that's different from any program I've been in before.
Yeah, the program's really tailored towards you. It's a lot of people think they're going to come in and we're going to teach you these different things, and we do. There's a process, but
Mhm.
it's about you unlocking the things that you need to about yourself, and it's very personal. It's your journey. That's what I love about the program too. It's not a one size fits all. It's everybody,
Mm-mm.
figuring out what's best for them. If someone came to you right now and they like, I've heard about this, I'm sure about it, I'm thinking about taking this course, what would you say to them?
I actually have talked with someone and encouraged them to consider signing on for this. I just talked to them about what an expansive program it is, that it's personalized, but it does such a good job of looking at you from a very holistic perspective and teaching you a lot of things that are actually within you anyway, but unlocking that, as you said. Um, and what you come out with are measurables in terms of, what your goals are, what your plan is for life. Um, and then I guess I would tell them also, um, something else that I was impressed with is that this program, it's 9 or 10 weeks, but then you have the benefit of the monthly groups,
Mhm.
and you still have access to Phil and Krista after you finish this program. And they really emphasize that this is an ongoing process. So you're not done after 9 to 10 weeks. You are going to be working through this plan for the rest of your life. And so revisiting some of some of your intentions and your values and your plan, when you feel like maybe you're stumbling, and then also revisiting that every year, because you want to look back at, okay, this is what I was thinking then, and how did I do with that, and do I need to regroup about that, and where do I want to go from here? So I think that is really, really something that I would emphasize to someone who was considering this program.
It's funny, we have a few people like 9 weeks, that's so long. And then when they get done, they're like, we wish it was longer. But that's
Yeah.
what we love is we have this community now, and afterwards you get to join and we have these monthly calls, and you get to make these connections and continue to work through, because I always say it's a journey. It's not just a program, because you don't just get a, I mean, you are more than welcome to throw that book in your desk But I feel like after you unlock these tools you have now, you don't want to do that. And we've had so many people saying, I know I can personally say the same for me. I have felt this alignment now where I know where I'm feeling good. And as
Yes.
soon as I start to feel off a little bit, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel it. I need to get this out. What do I need to adjust? What do I need to, go through in my book and get myself back into that place where before this, I didn't have that tool. I just thought, oh, this is the normal. You feel stressed out. You're burnout. Just
Yes.
keep going, plug along. And now I have to
Yes.
say, nope, I'm going to pause. I'm going to reassess and I'm going to lean into it and see where I need to
Mhm.
evaluate and shift things around. So it really is
Yeah.
a lot of people call it the toolbox now. I think that's
Yes.
great. Just have that
Yes.
little toolbox of things to do.
Yeah, I also think being able to notice, okay, this is not feeling like a good day or a good
Yeah.
week. And even letting yourself lean into that and say, I'm going to regroup. Yeah, this wasn't what I was planning today. I had a day a couple weeks ago where I had specific goals that I was working on for my business, but I also am a grandma, and I had 3 different requests from grandchildren's parents to assist them that day. And I thought, okay, I'm going to regroup here, and this is what I'm doing today. I'm helping my family, which is one of my bigger priorities. Um, and I don't need to beat myself up for not getting those goals done today, because I'm going to do them tomorrow.
And you're filling your cup back up. I
I
love that.
was.
Would you have done that prior to taking this course, do you think?
Well, I think I would have done it, but it's really about what my mind and my thinking would have been. I know I would have done it, but I would have been thinking, and I feel bad that I would have been thinking this, but that I needed to get through the things I was doing for the grandchildren to get back to the work that I was doing, instead of I'm going to set the work aside and I'm actually going to be in the moment with each of these situations and enjoy these little creatures, um, instead of thinking, okay, I'm doing this for them and I've got to get back to my task. Um, Forget the task. And it just really has helped me to shift my thinking, like, okay, I am being mindful in this moment with these children, which will benefit them the rest of their lives because we have a relationship.
I absolutely love that. That is amazing. That makes my heart happy. I'm sure at
uh,
the end of the day, yours was too. And then
yeah,
the
oh
next
yeah,
day, when you had to do those work tasks, you had a full cup. You're like, all right, let's
yes,
do this.
yes,
It's all about the balance. So,
yes.
well, congrats to you for doing that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I have absolutely enjoyed talking to you today. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up today?
I mean, I just think I just want to express gratitude that really all aspects of my life have changed or been impacted for the better as a result of this program, and as a result of you know, taking a look at, like, what are my priorities and naming them, and then having this program to hold me accountable, like, no, your priority is your family and your partner, and your siblings, and then it is your work and your career, and your work and your career aren't going to suffer because you've found a new balance. And
How we flourish.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly the word.
Well, we are grateful for you and thank you for joining us. And I'm so excited now that you know the course, to have you on the community calls and get to connect with you every month. So that is a
Thank
blessing
you.
to everybody in the group. So thank you so much for joining us today.
You are welcome.